Buffalo, New York. Ron Hexall quietly left KeyBank Center on Wednesday, his team in chaos. "See you next month, Ron," shouted an arena staffer, referring to the Penguins' next trip to Buffalo on December 9th. It may be a matter of curiosity where the Hexall Penguins will be in the standings by then. Maybe they'll fix the ship. Maybe advertising. Or maybe this is the beginning of the end. The Penguins were defeated 6-3 for the sixth time in a row Wednesday. In 3 of these matches, they took a multi-goal lead. They are the oldest team in the NHL. They are a revolution machine. They don't listen to their coach. Simply put, they are a disaster. All right, what now? With the locker room open to the press, only 3 players are left to talk about the team's situation. Sidney Crosby, Evgeni Malkin, and Jake Guentzel sat there with their arms folded, welcoming questions. It's Captain Crosby, but it's Malkin who often utters the Penguins without apology. And he did it again after an embarrassing and potentially damaging mishap. "It's not easy right now," Malkin said in a low voice. "It's a tough situation. It's time to take care of this team. It's tough. When you're lost, you need to support each other, help each other. It's time to form the team. We lost these games in a row. Why don't you win the next 6 games in a row? There are many reasons for this. Penguins seem slow, mellow, and completely uninterested in playing a respectable brand of hockey. What's worse is that those who make the biggest mistakes are primarily the highest paid players." Yet Malkin continued. "We have to make a good team," he said. "We are scoring 2 or 3 goals in a period. Third period, we stopped playing. We have to control the puck throughout the game." The Penguins were actually leading 2-0 in the middle of the game and playing pretty well. They were playing boring hockey, which was a step in the direction Mike Sullivan wanted. The number of revolutions was minimal. Things were running smoothly. Then, they allowed 6 goals in the last 21 minutes of the game. "We've changed," Malkin said. "We stopped controlling the puck. We give them ice. We ambush them. It doesn't matter what the score is. We have to play the same game," he said. Advertising. The Penguins are currently for 5-2 and find themselves lower in the Eastern Conference standings. Everything about their game, their stars play, the under-6, the blue line, the goalkeeping and their overall decision-making, is of great concern. "Everyone is looking at us, the leaders," Malkin said. "I can play better. We can play better. We don't play perfectly. I've had a few turnovers in this game. Play smart. Play right. Try and be the leader. It's tough. Everybody's going to Sid, me, Jake, and Rusty long season. We have to build this team. Tough. Smart. Support each other." 10 post-game observations. The biggest problem with Penguins is that their best players make the most ridiculous mistakes. After taking a 2-0 lead, Malkin took an attacking area penalty, became a turnover machine, and cleared a clear pass after Crosby fed him an excellent pass in the 2.5. If Malkin scores there, the game is probably different. It's a pity because Malkin was the game's top player in the first period and set Jason Zucker's target while dominating nearly every shift. His bad game later in the game was not limited to Malkin. Crosby was oddly quiet all night, but it was his loss in the third period that caused Buffalo's momentum to pick up, and Guentzel took a penalty. Of course, on the previous shift, Guentzel was barking at the authorities for an entire shift. He then took the ice while still steaming, and took a bad penalty. Then there's Chris Letang. -11 in their last 6 games. Letang made a terrific pass to Guentzel for the Penguins to score a 3-1 lead in the 8th second of the period. With this goal, Jake Guentzel moved up to 10th place on the Penguins' all-time top scorers list with 166 career goals. pic.twitter.com/agfnddcueu, Pittsburgh Penguins, November 3, 2022. But he still makes a lot of mistakes, and, with 4 minutes to go in the third period, and having a clear look with the Penguins trailing by a goal, he refused to shoot. Advertising. The Stars need to start playing like the Stars. It's not like they're not producing offense. But their overall game is disgusting right now. Each one. The power play has given up on more than one odd man attack again. It's more than embarrassing at this point. The Penguins were behind by 1 goal and pulled their goalkeeper late into the third quarter. What happened next was a terrible show by Malkin and Letang. The Jurgensens were beaten to achieve that goal, not to mention the rush to get down from the ice. Kyle Okposo, English 5-3 #Let's Go Buffalo #Let's Go Pens pic.twitter.com/for1QXJV60C7 Buffalo Hockey Moments November 3, 2022. Penguins spend a lot of money keeping Malkin and Letang around. So what was going on in this effort? Unacceptable. The Letang was definitely burned by the Zembis Jurgensens in what should have been an icing breach. He agreed and it burned. Then Malkin and Letang refused to use their legs. I believe the Penguins are in shock. I've been following this team for a long time, and I've never seen it like this. Nobody even knows what to say. It's just a matter of 6 games and 10 days, and it still feels much longer. The Penguins were relieved when they won comfortably after the first few games of the season. It came very easily to them. Bad habits form quickly in this group. This has always been the case. Brian Dumoulin and Jeff Petry looked terrible against the Sabres. It becomes an event every night. I have great respect for Dumoulin and his achievements over the years, but he seems finished. Petry became a player who wasn't exactly a factor in the offensive zone. It was more about his defense work. Petry looks slow and old right now. This is a big problem. Fast players eat it alive. Casey DeSmith needs to be much better. I understand he wasn't playing behind a good defensive team, but he was in a different zip code on 2 Buffalo goals. DeSmith hasn't played too badly this season, but you have the right to make a big save. He is not currently reading any games. Kasperi Kapanen did not do anything too offensive in this game. You must have the disc for this to happen. That was 3 goals in 50 games for Kapanen last season. 3. The decision to give him any contract over the summer, let alone a 2-year deal, was surprising then and still is. What a lost hockey player he is. Sullivan hates losing more than anyone I've ever been to. It was shocking to see him talking to Buffalo fans late in the third period. Mike Sullivan against a pair of Sabres glass hitters pic.twitter.com/EUCsYX2KPQ. Spittin' Sheeklets November 3, 2022. You can feel Sullivan's frustration with the rise of this team every day. He's angry, and I don't blame him considering how his team played. I don't expect a big Penguins trade anytime soon. Who will they trade? Who would they be willing to part with that any other team would envy? I just don't see it happening right now. Penguins should start playing better. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But other than that, there is no cheat code. Not bad for the Penguins. I really liked Malkin's play in the first period. Why can't he always play like this? Zucker has done very well. Josh Archibald scored his 3rd goal in 11 games, and Ryan Poehling did well. Brock McGinn was pretty good for a second night. I liked most of what I saw from P.O. Joseph. So, where do the Penguins go from here? I have some changes to suggest. Letang needs a new defensive partner for now. Dumoulin doesn't do that. I would also put Rust back on Malkin's line and put Rickard Rakell on Crosby's line. But a line change isn't going to make everything better. Penguins are a soft, arrogant and lazy team right now in my view. They're not too old to win. Not physically anyway. But they play like a team that is very happy with their success. And hey, these achievements are special. But these current Penguins are not as special as they think. It starts with the best players. They wanted to bring the group back together. They got it. They got paid. They took everything they could want and then some.